Hi, everybody. This is Suzanne from Healthy Hustling again. Happy Monday. Hope you're doing well. I just wanted to jump on really quick about a topic that keeps swirling around when I talk to real estate agents, and it is all of the real estate tools that you are provided when you sign up with a firm. And that's one of the great benefits of, signing up with a firm, whether it be large or small, is that they provide you a lot of great tools for various purposes. But there is some confusion as to how to use some things, when to use some things, and if you should use them at all. So I wanted to address that and then talk about how these tools fit, just in a very basic, high-level term, in your overall client life cycle. And I had a really cool PowerPoint slide that I put together, but for whatever reason, it's not sharing. So I will talk to it. So if you imagine from start to finish a client life cycle, not lifestyle. I'm looking at my slide, that's why I look over. It starts out with your prospecting activities. It starts with you out there with your face everywhere, whether that's in person, on the phone, or on social media. It's you constantly talking about your value and your experience and why you should be the one to think of when somebody's thinking of selling or buying a house. And I have a whole series on that at a later time, but that's where it starts, your prospecting. However you get your leads, that's how you get your leads, is by prospecting. Open houses, etc. Nope, my phone is going off. And then it goes to, once you prospect, somebody goes, interesting. They become a lead. So a lead is somebody who has initially found whatever you've said or done interesting, and they want to know more. And so once you've contacted them through various means, a phone call, in person, an email, a text, a chat bot, etc., social media, you then further talk to them, understand their wants, their needs, and then they become a potential client. And then through the course of understanding their needs, they decide they want to work with you. They sign a buyer's agency agreement. They sign a listing agreement, depending if they're buying or selling. And then you get to work. You find them a house or you sell their house. And then your ultimate goal is for closing. So that is the 5-second description of a client life cycle. But in terms of your tools, let's talk about, again, very high level. I know there's all kinds of firms out there. There's big ones, there's little ones, and everything in between. And there's all kinds of levels of detail when it comes to what your firm offers you. So I just left it with 4 basic descriptions of tools that you have right now, in a dashboard somewhere on your laptop or an app on your phone or both. So the first one is a social media tool. So it could be anything from, hey, there's all these articles that are ready to roll right now. You just have to post them, and you can even automate when they get posted on your social media accounts. I know that primarily it's Facebook and Instagram posts of some sort. And that's pretty cool because it saves a lot of time of you thinking about stuff and, this is great. So it's an omnipresent, kind of activity. So people are scrolling through their feeds, they see something, interesting. It's automated. You don't have to think about it. Something goes out every day or whatever frequency that you set. So there's probably a tool in your dashboard that's something like that. So the next one, that's number 1. Number 2 is a big one, is a CRM tool. So CRM stands for Customer Relationship Manager. So this is in essence, your database of clients, prospective clients, leads, etc. And so that you absolutely, this is that you've got to have something in place in order to manage your client, database for various reasons. So, and again, this is really where once somebody's identified, somebody comes across your path, this is where they get managed in terms of follow-up and what stage in the client, life cycle they're at. So this is a vital piece of the puzzle in terms of tools. So there's all kinds of, tools out there. If you're thinking of a general, here's a popular one, and some firms even include this in their benefits tools package, and that's Salesforce. So this is where, again, once you've gotten a lead or a potential client, and then certainly a client, they go in this CRM database. And so this is where you, capture and centralize all the information about everybody. So it's every time you talk to somebody, make notes in their record, when you talk to them, what you talk to them about, when their birthday is, when their anniversary is, their kids, names, addresses, their dog's birthday, etc. All that is captured. That is vital. And I'm sure your agent, your firm includes that type of activity of software. I mean, if they don't, you need to go get it. And I have some ideas. So if you are like, oh no, my I'm at a mom and pop agency, we only have one office and they didn't provide that. just either comment on this this live below, or you can reach out to me directly by Facebook Messenger, etc. I can certainly steer you in the right direction. I've got actually a great tool that takes care of that instantly. So the next piece is I'm sure you have, again, once you're across that line and you're into that potential client piece. So the CRM, if you're thinking in terms of, the four things: prospecting, lead, potential client, and closing, 5 actually. The CRM is across the lead, potential client, closing, that piece. Prospecting, if you can identify somebody, then that becomes a lead. Prospecting is your unknown. You're just, the world of social media is before you have a name. So just to keep it simple. So again, CRM is, starts at that lead. Once you get a name, boom, they're in your system. And then you follow up with them with emails, texts, phone calls, etc., in, lunches, etc. So the next piece is you're moving down the life cycle. It's certainly things like flyers. You've probably got tools for flyers and listing presentations that look really cool and show the value that you bring to the table for buyers and sellers. So, and there's really great, I'm sure every office has, some kind of really slick and easy tool to use. You can just, type in something or drop it, and drag, copy, paste, and it looks amazing. You don't have to have, Adobe, Illustrator, or whatever, or a graphics design, degree to create a flyer, whether it be digital or in print. So there's, tools like that, a lot of really creative content kind of tools. Then the last thing is certainly the automation in terms of documents. So like your listing agreement, your buyer's agreement, your closing documents, all those contracts, there should be a tool that you don't have to go print something out and go walk over and have somebody sign it, or drive across town to have somebody sign it. It's all done digitally. And I can't imagine anybody printing anything out these days. Everything is digital. So if your company doesn't have it, I can tell you right now, DocuSign is a great tool to have for that automation and digital aspect, because your goal for anything is to take any kind of complex process out of the equation when you're dealing with people, when you're trying to get them to be your clients, or when you're working with clients trying to get a closing. You need to take as much craziness out of the equation, and automation is absolutely the way to do it. So one of the things, so that's just the basics. There's little here and there stuff that's one-off. I won't go into that because that's, bigger companies have bigger things and bigger, programs and stuff, but that's your basics. That's what you need in place. Some of the confusion is in terms of, I would say, to the, the first couple of life cycle stops in terms of prospecting and leads. And this is where I think the confusion and aggravation, frankly, is coming into play, because you're even told in a education class that these tools, oh, they're great for prospecting or whatever. So let's talk about the one specific one that I mentioned as the first one, and that's social media tool. So it could be a various flavored thing, but it's that, it comes in the spirit of I understand, certainly, cutting down time, because, hey, you want the most amount of time of your day working with clients and closing deals. That's why you became a real estate agent. So I understand the need for, trying to cut as much time and energy out of other things that are not in those two categories. But let's talk about how you use that tool, because you are still going to have to brand yourself. And when I say brand, I think there's confusion around that term as well. Branding it's in its simplest form is the story of you. And what I mean by that is the story of your background, your experience, your value, the services that you provide a buyer or seller that, is something that they were like, oh my God, where have you been all my life? I needed you 5 years ago when I bought my first home, that kind of stuff. And you should be constantly branding yourself, which means telling your story. And the best and easiest way to do that is social media. You can reach as many, thousands, millions of people with your story through social media. So where I'm going with this is those social media marketing tools that, cut time and automate and all this stuff, they should just be a supplement to your social media marketing strategy. They are not the one and only thing you do on social media, because you have got to brand your face. People need to see your face, realtor, real estate agent. And so, you have to be all over the place. And there's ways to do all that without spending all day on social media. I can have another session just on that, what I call omnipresence. It's, doing one thing and then having that one thing turn into 5 different things. So you're only doing one thing once, the main thing once, and then you multiply it all over the place, and suddenly you're everywhere. So I'll go through that in another live, but you need to be branding your face all over social media. So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, those are the 3 primary ones. Pinterest, Snapchat, TikTok, those are supplementary. I wouldn't mess with those until you've got a good base with Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And little tip, you could post Instagram and Facebook, one post to both of those instantly. So you don't have to go Facebook post, Instagram post. It's one, and if you've got your 2 accounts connected, boom, they both go, one post twice. So that's another time-saving activity. And then any video like this that I'm doing now as a Facebook Live, you can save it and go pop it over on YouTube. But we'll get into that in more detail. If that's something that you want, just comment below or wherever this ends up being. So I just want to make that clear, that any of your social media tools that you have in your office dashboard, on your laptop, on an app or whatever, is just a supplement. It is not a primary tool for your social media marketing. Your face, your language, how you phrase things, your knowledge, your specific area knowledge, whatever the market's doing in your area, you need to be telling that story on a consistent basis with your face. Not some very, amazing model, photograph of some other person you've never met before, because it's just some generic post. It needs to be your face, because, at the end of the day, when somebody thinks, I think I'm going to sell my house. Who do I know that's a realtor? Oh, well, Sarah keeps showing up all over my Facebook page, and I think she's a realtor. Let me go look. Boom. So there you go. So if you have any questions, any comments about what I've presented in the last, 20 some odd minutes, somebody's calling me, just let me know. Again, you can reach out to me certainly on Facebook Messenger, or you can comment below here, and feel free to share this with any of your real estate agent coworkers in your office, etc., because this is for everybody. So thank you so much, and have a great day.